Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing a review. It's been a while since I last did one of these. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the BR Air Smoothed Merchant Navy 35024 East Asiatic Company in the BR Express Passenger Blue livery. Has this model been worth the wait? Well, let's find out. So this model has been a long time coming. First announced in the 2018 range, this model has been a 3 to 4 year wait. Now, during that time, Hornby have had factory problems with one of the factories, and so they've had to undergo a factory change. And also taking into the account that the people have then got to be trained up to use the equipment to manufacture these models, that's not something that can be done overnight. Then, of course, more importantly, there's the situation with COVID-19, which hasn't really helped either. And that's not just affected Hornby, that's had an effect on every manufacturer. But the model's here now, and I've been absolutely looking forward to this. And it's just arrived in the post. This model was released last week, and I've been really looking forward to this. I know it's taken a while for it to get here, but to be honest with you, no matter how long we have to wait for these models, I'm just happy to sit back and patiently wait. I'd rather the manufacturers take their time with these things rather than just rushing them out onto the market. But what we're going to do, we're going to get this model open and we're going to have a look at it. So the model has been unboxed and it's down here on the layout. And the first thing I can say about it, it does look stunning. There's been no quality control issues with this model at all whatsoever, which is important really, because when we spend all this money on models like this, there shouldn't be any quality control issues. They should be perfect. And also, to be fair, I did ask Hornby Model Rail Centre, which is where I bought this model from, to have it checked before they sent it out, which they have done. And there's no faults at all whatsoever. So I'm not going to start going through all the list of quality control issues that this model doesn't have, because that just goes without saying. And you can also see on camera quite clearly that there's nothing wrong with this model. And also, this model runs beautifully straight from the box, and it's absolutely silk smooth, which again is what we also expect to see with these models. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the model in detail. So first of all, as a standard feature with the model, we have sprung metal buffers. We've also got separately fitted lamp irons on the model, as you can see, as well as the electric headlights, which this model doesn't have any working lights, but then, to be honest, it doesn't need to, not for it to be a great model. We've also got a pre-fitted coupling hook on the buffer beam, as you can see. We also have separately fitted lamp irons on the smokebox door. On the smokebox door you have the number plate with the loco's running number 35024 crisply applied, and we have separately fitted smokebox door darts. Hornby really have done a superb job capturing the overall look of the real locomotive. On the air smooth casing, which this is what it's called, we have some very nice rivet detail, as well as the washout plugs as well. You've also got the smoke deflectors, which they are very nicely applied. And also you do have the locomotive's nameplates, which these are made out of plastic, so they're not etched, and you don't get any etched ones supplies with the model. But you can buy some etched nameplates from somewhere, from places such as Fox Transfers. But to be honest with you, I'm not really fussed about the fact that this model doesn't have any etched nameplates, because I don't think it detracts from the model. And the printing detail on the plastic ones really is quite nice. We have some separately fitted pipework just under the casing, and that's being painted. And also just look at the detail on the rear pony truck. Just look at the detail on the axle box and the springs. The wheel on the pony truck, it is a floating wheel, so it doesn't touch the rails, but to be quite honest with you, it is hard to tell. When this model is running on the layout, you're not going to really notice that the rear pony wheel is floating. So I for one, I'm not really fussed about that. In the cab windows we have some glazing. You will have to apologise though if the light in the shed is reflecting off of them. And also you can see the frame of the cab side windows, they've been painted a brass colour, which looks really nice. And you've got the loco's run number 35024, which has been crisply and very neatly applied. On the top of the air smooth casing you have a whistle and the safety valves. On the cab roof you also get an opening roof vent. Then we come on to the cab interior detail, and I have to say the interior on the firebox, it's absolutely superb. I mean, just look at it, it really does pop out at you and makes it look like the real thing. You got the steam piping in there, the regulator, the lever, the gauges and the dials. It's all painted. And also just look at the dials as well. I have seen a couple of occasions with some of Hornby's recent models we don't even have any printed detail on them, but with this model, as you can see clearly, the detail on the dials is printed. And also the gauges look to be made out of plastic as well. So top marks to Hornby for the detail that they've done in the interior of the cab. And also just look at the rear of the cab. You've got separately fitted handrails and glazing. The brake rigging on these models comes pre-fitted. On Hornby's rebuilt merchant navies, their air-smoothed West Countries and Battle of Britons, as well as the rebuilt ones, the brake rigging with those models you have to fit yourself. But with these air-smooth merchant navies, or original merchant navies, as you could also call them, have the brake rigging pre-fitted. Which, to be honest, I quite like that it is pre-fitted, because the brake rigging can be quite fiddly to apply yourself. Moving immediately onto the tender, you can see the cab doors, which have been separately fitted, and they look really nice. You've also got handrails there on the front of the tender, and also the footsteps for the crew to climb up and get into the loco. And also on the frames of the tender you have the axle boxes and springs and some very nice rivet detail. Also there are glazing in the tender windows there on the front, on the faceplate of the tender. In the tender we do have a plastic coal load, which you can remove if you want to fit your own coal in there. But then, to be fair, you can scatter your own coal load on top of that anyway, which I think I will be doing with this model. On top of the rear of the tender you have the vacuum cylinders, which are for the tender brakes. They have been separately fitted. You've also got the water filler cap for the crew to fill the tender with water. It doesn't open like it does on the real thing, but doesn't really need to. And also you've got some pipework detail here as well. That's been separately fitted. The detail that's gone into this model, you know, it really is quite something. On the rear of the tender you have ladders for the crew to climb up to get to the top. They've been separately applied. You've also again got the electric headlights, and I do like that the headlights themselves have been painted on this model. Really does make them look better than having them unpainted. You've also got separately fitted lamp irons. You also have an M-tension knot coupling, which that's going to be removed and replaced with a hump coupling. And just like on the loco, the buffers on the tender, they are metal and they are sprung. I'm saving the livery application till last. Now, I know when it comes to liveries, we've all got our different opinions and preferences, but I really do love the BR Express Passenger Blue livery. For me, in my opinion, it's one of those liveries where whatever loco has ever worn this livery, it's a livery that always seems to suit the loco. The livery, the blue itself, it's a gorgeous shade of blue that's been very evenly applied. There's no blemishes or imperfections anywhere at all. And also the lining on this model, on the real locomotives, it's something that really makes this livery pop out and stand out more, and I think the lining really does lift the livery. And the lining's been very crisply and neatly applied, and then to finish it all off you've got the BR Early emblem, which I think just looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to quickly show you the other side. All the detail on this side is the same as on the other side, apart from the steam piping, which is different on this side than it is on the other, but it's separately fitted and painted. But that's just to show you the other side, just to show you on camera that there's nothing wrong with the model at all, as I have learned from doing the review on those HST power cars. Yeah, need I say any more? And very quickly what I've done is I've took out my other Air Smooth Merchant Navy 21C3 Royal Mail in the Southern Malachite green livery, and that's just to show you the two different styles of the Air Smooth casing. This is the earlier style of the casing, which is how it looked when they were first built, and then as you see, the Air Smooth casing on East Asiatic Company is how the Merchant Navies look later on, when they changed the Air Smooth casing. And you certainly don't need me to tell you that the Bully Pacifics are my favourite steam loco, because I have mentioned it enough times. I do have other favourite locomotives, but when it comes to number one favourites, it's always going to be a Bully Pacific. Whether it's air smoothed or rebuilt, you know, they really are gorgeous locomotives, I think. And they really are unique as well. So it's going to be Bully Pacifics for life, for me. So that's the end of my review for the Hornby Air Smooth Merchant Navy class 35024 East Asiatic Company. And that now brings me on to my conclusion. So first of all, has this model been worth the 3 to 4 year wait? In short, the answer to that is yes. I do take my hat off to Hornby for producing this model. It's a first class model and I personally can't fault it. There's nothing wrong with my model. Like I say, there's no quality control issues anywhere at all. There's nothing I can say that's bad or that needs changing or that could do with being changed. So I'm rather happy with this model and I'm glad I spent the money on it. It's something I've definitely been looking forward to since it was announced. And it just shows you that good things really are worth waiting for, and they really do come to those who wait. So I do give a round of applause to Hornby for producing this model. If, like me, you love the Bully Pacifics and you like collecting them, then I highly recommend this model, especially if you're modelling Era 4 on the southern region, which is what era this model comes from, or what I say it's modelled on. Then it's a must-have. So highly recommend this model, and I absolutely love it. It's going to make a great addition to the layout. So with my review now done, that's going to bring me on to my running session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get East Asiatic Company running around on the layout with my Pullman coaches. And what I'm going to do for a change is I'm going to run it on the up line instead of the down line, which is usually when I do my reviews I nearly always tend to run them on the down line. I don't tend to run them on the up line that often when doing my reviews. So I thought I'd make a change for today's review and run it on the other line instead. So all that's left to say now is thanks for watching this video and I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see. And also, while you're at it, check out all my other videos I have on the channel. Don't forget to smash the like button, and I'll see you soon. But until then, take care. Goodbye.